sweet, salty, Moorish, Vietnamese chicken. It's Vietnamese ginger chicken stir fry. Can't get enough of it. Hey guys, welcome back to Wok Wednesdays. I'm Jeremy from School of Wok, London's premier Asian cookery school. Let's get woking. I've got some shallots here. Just everyday Western shallots actually work well. I've soaked these shallots in hot water just so that they're easier to peel. Nice little trick there for you. I just cut the shallot into small sort of wedges, and I quite like a lot of shallots in this. I think it gives it a lot of natural flavour and sweetness. Some ginger, just roughly chopped and bashed. And as they're chunky like that, they can just go in with those wedges of shallots. Garlic. Similar again, just bash them. This is all really to sort of flavour the oil and the caramel sauce that I'm going to cook into this. With the chicken thighs, these are skinless and boneless. I quite like this dish to be quite nice, large, chunky pieces. It's kind of semi-stir-fried and semi-braised. And I still thin out any like really thick pieces just so it cooks quick enough. And the first thing I want to do is actually sear my chicken. And then I'm going to remove this seared chicken in a second and start to build up the sauce and the caramel and the flavour. High heat. I've got a cast iron wok, nice sort of heat retention. I want to make sure that oil's smoking hot. Notice there's no marinade on this chicken at all, but the flavour of the sauce is relatively simple with just fish sauce and coconut palm sugar, but it's quite intense. So you don't really need to marinate this at all. So my chicken's been seared, and that's just to sort of seal the moisture into each piece of chicken really. But I'm now going to sort of start to compile this caramel stir-fried sauce. I've got some residual oil and sort of stickiness from cooking the chicken in my wok, but that's okay. That will get picked up by the next level of cooking. Shallots, ginger, garlic, all nice and chunky. And what I sort of quite like to just talk about quickly is that when you're braising dishes or recipes with ginger in it like this, you want to get the ginger to a point where it's really crisping up nicely, and it almost completely changes the flavour of that ginger. It becomes less hot and more savoury in flavour. So take your time over this, and this perhaps is one of the biggest differences between sort of more traditional Chinese stir-fry cooking and the Southeast Asian version of a stir-fry. Quite often when it comes to the ginger and the garlic and the onions, in Southeast Asia, it's cooked for a bit longer. And that especially applies to these sort of braised dishes or semi-braised, semi-stir-fried. I've got my coconut palm sugar here. And this is the sort of granulated version of it, which I find quite easy to use. The sugar's going to go into there and start to melt into that onion and ginger oil. And if you pour your fish sauce into that as well, then that will melt really quickly and start to caramelize. You might want to get your extractor fan on at this point. You definitely don't have any washing sort of hung up lying around. White pepper. And as soon as you start to see this sort of syrupy caramel texture in that sauce, your chicken can go back in. Start to fold that round nicely. I'm still on a high heat here. And that's why I say it's more of a stir fry than a classic braise. Because when you're braising something, usually you kind of slow cook it for a little bit. And that chicken, as I said, was quite chunky, so it's not going to be fully cooked straight away. This shallot water's got a great colour and will have some flavour in there from the soaking of the shallots as well. So I'm going to use that just to help that chicken along. Now I've got a little bit of coriander here, which you could just use to garnish, but I quite like adding it to the wok and allowing it to just sort of wilt into the stir fry. And once that sauce is caramelized nicely around the chicken, but there's still enough sauce sort of sitting at the bottom of the wok, you're ready to serve. My quick, easy Vietnamese ginger chicken. This type of stir fry is so easy to cook. Every time I cook it, you just want to eat more. Happy eating. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Ding! Hit that notification bell. Notification bell. Keep eating.